um, okay, so now let's look at problem 8. So problem 8, we're asked to use the mean value theorem, which is essentially this formula here for this function on the interval from 1 to 4. So the interval that they specify, you tell you the values for a and b, right? So so let's mark that off, right? So here a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 4. Okay, so what we want to do for this problem is to calculate the right hand side first, right? So we have to calculate the individual function values. So here, so let's do it on the side here, right? So f of b, so b is 4, right? So you have f of 4. So that means I just plug it into the function, so 1 over 4, which is 0.25. And what is f of a? So a was 1, right? So I plug in 1 into the function. So this is just equal to 1. And then b is 4, and then a is 1. Right, so now I can calculate the right-hand side. Right, so just plugging in the numbers. So f of b is 0.25. And minus f of a, which is 1, divided by b minus a. So b is 4 and a is 1. So that's 4 minus 1. So now we just calculate this, right? So this is negative 0.75 divided by 4 minus 1 is 3. So what is this equal to? So it's negative 0.25. Okay, so that's the right hand side of the formula, and now the left hand side is just the first derivative, right? So let's try to find the first derivative. So f prime of x, right? So here it's 1 over x. So, I mean, you can use the quotient rule, but the easier way is just to use the power rule, right? So 1 over x, we can think of this as x to the minus 1. And using the power rule, so the minus 1 comes down, x. And then if I subtract 1 from the exponent, right, so that's minus 1 minus 1. So that's equal to negative x to the minus 2. And then negative exponent means I just push the x into the denominator, right? So that's negative 1 over x squared. Okay, so now I just set the left-hand side and the right-hand side equal to each other, and then I can solve for x, right? So negative 1 over x squared equals negative 0.25. So I cross multiply. Right, you get negative 1 equals negative 0.25x squared. And then I divide it by negative 0.25. So what is this equal to? This is equal to 4. So positive 4 is equal to x squared, so I just square root both sides. Right, so we get plus or minus 2 is equal to x. However, going back, the interval says between 1 and 4, so, right? So we want the x value to be within that interval, so only positive 2 is within that interval. So this is the value of c. So they see c, but we can just use x here. So the value of x is equal to 2.